Holding someone accountable is not an attack, though may not also be a tea party. Accountability Africa is designed to always ask questions on how our commonwealth is being handled. And from the private sector, we pry into their customer service operations. Accountability Africa. Hello there and welcome. It's time yet again for another edition of Accountability Africa here in the Africa Independent Television, AIT. Today we're talking about issues around security, conflict resolution, peacekeeping, and so on and so forth. And I will be having as my guest the National Commandant, World Chaplain Association Human Rights, Wcahr. And in the course of the program, we want to know what are their functions within the society. That's one. Being an international body, we want to know where is the headquarters and exactly what are they doing. How many countries can we get this organization? And apart from that, we heard reliably that they are in collaboration with International Police Chaplain Sustainable Development and Law Enforcement Incorporated. What's the meaning of all that? At least we can hear police in there. So the best person to do justice to this is the National Commandant, Blessing Akilosotu. Mr. Blessing, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, sir.
Good. Now, let's start this way. When we talk about peacekeeping, security, and so on and so forth, what does that word chaplain go to? Because if I hear chaplain, my mind goes to church or army chaplain or whatever. But this one now, we hear that it has to do with human rights. Please tell us, what is WCAHR all about?
Thank you very much. World Chaplain Association for Human Rights. This was bettered in the National Assembly of Venezuela. That is in 2015, and that is in Caracas. And it came out of the fact that men in the uniform, that is in the U.S. Army, they thought of it that there must be a peace in the world at large. And after serving the country, General Carlos, a four-star general in the U.S. Army, came up with the fact that there must be a whole lot to do with giving the people the ability to have right to justice, assisting the government in terms of information gathering, assisting the government in terms of supporting them for peacekeeping all over the world. And it is not just only that. The World Chaplain is fully integrated and affiliate with the United Nations under ECOSOC. They have their full registration with the ECOSOC, which was approved. And the mission now is to support the United Nations for Sustainable Development Goal, which we know that peace is a very key aspect of the SDG. So they took it upon themselves to form themselves as a peacekeeping missionaries all over the world, try to preach how we can be able to get justice for people, also try as much as possible to support the security of every nation with whatever they think they can do so that we can achieve peace. And the same leadership were also the leaders of the International Police Chaplain for Sustainable Development Goal, for sustainable and law enforcement. The International Police Chaplain is registered in Florida. The headquarters is in US. They have a full registration with the United States of American government, and aside that, they have the full support of the US government to carry on humanitarian support for all the security agencies all over the world, and to see how they can also be able to fight for anti-vandalism, anti-corruptions, anti-drug, anti-clandestine, so many things, even threats against humanity. Also, people that are also taking the right of the children for granted. So their mission is to see how they can be able to bring up justice for these people, report cases of injustice, and also make sure that they give full support to all the security formations of countries that they are operating. And since the leadership are the same, and the organization now has the same goal, meaning that the United Nations has given them a pass to move to continent of the world to see how they can be able to also support the peace of every nation, which Nigeria is also a part. And aside that, General Carlos is the global commandant, is a US base, and the headquarters is in Florida, USA. While in African country we have General Lebai Matthias, who is an Ivorian. He's also a four-star general in the Ivorian army, and he has also been able to establish that of the African. And they are working seriously, synonymous with all the security apparatus in the African, having been a very critical arms of the United Nations that joins all the nations together. And the mission is just very simple: to go on a peacekeeping mission to see how they can be able to support humanity and also support the security agency, so that we can be able to have peace all over the world. And I'm very sure that Nigeria is not out of a country that is experiencing a whole lot of crisis now. The crisis is all over the world, so it is not just Nigeria, but specifically we have issues of banditries, we have issues of so many insurgencies, crimes and criminality, kidnappings and all the rest. So, and the security apparatus also need a whole lot of support. Even it is now incumbent on individual as a citizen now to also support the security apparatus of the nation that you live, because it can only be we can't leave the security of the nation in the hands of only the police or the armies. We also need, as a citizen, to see how we can be able to support them in terms of giving them information as at when due, and also try as much as possible galvanizing a whole lot of support for them, both resources from the United Nations and all the rest. And these are part of the mandate they have. And very soon, I think all of them will be in Nigeria. Both General Carlos and General Matia Labai, all of them will be in Nigeria. They have a plan to also give full support as a mandate from the United Nations to the security apparatus of this country. I don't want to reveal what they have in stock, but I know for sure that they are coming to give full support to our security in Nigeria.
Good. Along the line, is the organization not having maybe occasional brushes with our own security outfits in Nigeria? Maybe NSCDC, for instance, thinking that we are doing our job. Also, have we not been experiencing that?
Ours is not to arrest, and ours is to complement.
Yeah, you said like giving information.
What the security are doing, because to be honest, even in a community now, you will realize that community are coming up with intelligent gathering, because we observe that it's not as if our security agencies are not doing their best, but sometimes information is power. Incidents are not supposed to happen before we have a response. There must be an intelligent support from the community and the citizen. The citizen must be able to, because you can't tell me that you are living in a community that you won't be able to identify some kind of people who are very stubborn in terms of kidnapping and all the rest. We have people that knows them. These people lives within the society, and the security cannot also become amazed. They can't become too supernatural, knowing so many things. So there's a way by which we need to bring to the awareness of the security agencies these and this are going on. And in case of the major area that we are also working on, which is human rights, we are talking about conflict. Sometimes when conflict wants to start in the community, it started with quarreling, argument between brothers and sisters. So if there is nobody there to see how we can be able to attend to such, it can lead and blow to a full-blown crisis within that community, where you will now be looking for the attentions of the security formation to curb and moderate. Before it gets to that level, there must be people of character, intelligence, high reputed individual within that community that should be commissioned to at least attend to some of all these issues. So it's part of the mandate of the United Nations. That is why under the human rights, to also have a kind of arbitration system whereby we can be able to settle disputes among people before they blow into a large-scale crisis. So these are part of what we are doing. So ours is to just complement what the security are doing. We are not taking
anybody's job.
No. We are not even doing close to their job. Ours is to support them, because United Nations as a body also have a mission to support every nations of the world, and indirectly they support through each of all these their organs. Take for instance, when they enter Cote d'Ivoire, they supported the government of Cote d'Ivoire with mobility vehicles. They gave them a whole lot of stuff. They supported them with so many activities, equipment and materials that they can use. Because definitely if they are coming to Nigeria, the security agencies are the first they will meet, and the modalities of how they can be able to complement or support what they are doing, appreciate them, is also going to be at the point of discussion at that meeting.
Now, I know you are recognized by the Nigerian government. Who is the supervisory agency or the supervisory ministry or body representing government?
Yes, for now, the truth of the matter is that United Nations has a way and manner to push in the recognition to any country they enter. So a letter has been communicated to the president of the country and also to the top security formations about the activities of these organizations, and also some of the leadership and what they will be doing to complement the works of the security to bring peace to Nigeria has also been communicated. So at that level, for now, I think they're enjoying the support of the Nigerian Army, because most of both the serving and the retired, they are also going to be part of this formation, because their mission is to bring in younger people from different communities, train them, equip them with knowledge of information gathering, with knowledge of human rights, giving justice, with knowledge of crime management and all the rest. So at the end of the day, they will be doing this in collaboration with the security agencies, and even the subsequent training that the training that is coming up in November will be holding inside the Mambila barrack.
Oh, okay.
So that tells you that whatever they do it under the covers of the security of this country,
okay,
and everybody is involved.
Okay, I understand now. Now, how long have you spent in Nigeria? I mean, this body?
Yes, they came into Nigeria a few months ago.
Oh,
and
I see.
That is the reason why we need much sensitization.
Yes,
it is a gradual process. They have been existing for long, but before they need to enter Nigeria, there must be a mission, an head of mission. Captain Kafu, a Togolese, but he works at the African headquarters in Cote d'Ivoire, was the one that they sent as an head of mission to enter Nigeria and see how he can be able to start galvanizing support within the younger generation and see those who they can be able to impart to support the security formation. So we came on board just a few weeks ago, but operations have been ongoing for the past 3 months. They were in the NAF conference center. They have met so many people in the country. They have met people in the Army, they have met people in the Navy, in the Air Force, they have met people in the Nigerian police headquarters. So they have had series of engagement meetings with all these top security chiefs, and they are working out modalities of how they can also be able to support. But those people that came, they are not Nigerian. Automatically, they need to ceded power to we that are also here. that has a passion for this country, that has a drive to be able to secure our country, to be able to preach peace and bring a kind of a solution to whatever crisis that is already ravaging the country. And that is the reason why some of us emerge from the rigorous elections process that they have went through, and I emerge as the national coordinator. And as time goes on, we'll be rolling out activities as it will be going. But for sure, definitely by next month, most of all the activities will be unveiled, because the leadership will be coming from the US and also from Ivory Coast, who heads the African Command. Will also come, and a whole lot of interactions like this can come on board for them to be able to unveil their mission in Nigeria and some other African countries.
Good. Now, what do you see as your immediate challenge, your immediate assignment, or the first thing you are launching yourself into in Nigeria?
The first thing cannot be out of the fact that we as a younger generation, we must be able to see the interest of this nation as first. And if the interest of the nation is paramount to us, how can this nation be at peace with one another? And the challenge is to start seeing how we can be able to go on massive sensitization, especially to the younger generation, because if you observe, the demographic of crime normally happen within the younger generation. It's not as if we are exaggerating, but the truth of the matter is that the older generation has a lesser crime rate compared to the younger generation, because they have the energy, they have the zeal, they have the enthusiasm, they have so many things.
Civilization.
And this is a time at which you need to go straight into the younger generation and see how we can be able to sensitize them and let them see the interest of Nigeria as first. Because if we don't reduce crime and criminality, if we don't fight drug abuse, if we don't fight injustice among ourselves, if we don't fight crimes and criminalities, if we don't support the security agencies in terms of furnishing them with necessary information, using all the apparatus of the organs that we have, support from United Nations and other well-meaning Nigerian stakeholders in the military formation, to see how we can be able to have a peaceful nation, definitely we don't have anywhere to call our home. So the major big work that is on us now is to get young Nigerians who are vibrant, who are articulate, who we can be able to impart this kind of a training in terms of human rights, in terms of access to justice, in terms of information gathering, in terms of how they can be able to complement the security apparatus. And this is a very huge challenge. So, but we believe as time goes on, we'll be rolling out so many engagements, moving from state to state, to see how we can be able to get a whole lot of people to support what we are doing, so that we can be able to complement and bring peace to this country.
Now, the program is Accountability Africa, and we are discussing issues related to security, to peacekeeping, to conflict resolution, and Blessing Akilo Soto is my guest. He is the National Commandant of the World Chaplain Association Human Rights, Wcahr. Once again, Blessing, I thank you for coming, but the program continues.
Thank you very much, sir.
Now, we are approaching the election year.
Yeah.
So, campaigns have started. INEC has given go-ahead for campaigns. What roles are we expecting your organization to play in all of this?
A lot of roles. As we speak, we have approached the INEC that the organization will also like to observe the election.
Okay, observer status.
Critical role we think we can use to support the electoral body. And secondly, you will agree with me that Togri is majorly among younger generation, which we want to also make ourselves as a vanguard to go more critically into campuses, into community by community, try as much as possible to talk to the younger generation. Those who can change their attitude, we can be able to get them. But if you resist to change from the way of vandalism, thuggery, maybe a secret court and all the rest, definitely we form a kind of a vanguard of giving the security agencies a whole lot of information so that we can be able to start talking to the younger generation to desist from this act, because that is the major one that really affects any electionary period. If we have a peaceful campaign and we have a peaceful election, everybody, we have a peaceful nation. There will not be crisis, there will not be dispute. But when you have thuggery going on everywhere, seeing people in one form or the other trying to scatter the process and also cause a whole lot of breach in the system, some people may first cheated and they want to retaliate. That is how crisis started. So we must be able to turn ourselves to a vanguard of peace to see how we can be able to go deep, because all of us are also a very critical stakeholder in this country, and what paramounts to us is for us to have a free, fair and credible election. We will support the electoral body with our full chest to make sure that they have a very free and fair election. We will also complement the security agency in whatever form to see how they can be able to also withstand the pressure, because definitely the pressure will be too much on them this time around, but fully we will give them all the necessary support.
How do you get funded?
To be honest with you, sir, the United Nations is a body that funds most of their activities all over the world. And having been an organization fully recognized by the United Nations, there are so many international organizations. Like the Wcahr, I got to know that the funding comes from different countries of the world, because some governments, like in Ivory Coast, like in Togo, which they are fully established, the president of Ivory Coast, he gives support to the organization as far as African is concerned, and also in the US, because they are fully registered with the US government, they have a full funding from the US government and also and other United Nations bodies that are really majorly on peacekeeping, because this is the area that United Nations focus more of the attention on, because if there's no peace, there's no development. You can't be talking about infrastructure, you can't be talking about constructions of anything, you can't be talking about education, you can't be talking about any development where there's no peace. So mostly peacekeeping is one of the major missions for this organization, and United Nations is taking it very serious, and the funding is coming from the United Nations.
Okay. Now, what are the benefits of this of all these things we are doing to you as a person, to the body? What do you stand to gain?
Yes, the
just humanitarian.
The truth of the matter is that if we fail to attend to so many issues, the issue we run away from will definitely consume all of us. I have seen a whole lot of people that believe that the nation must exist before we talk about what we stand to gain from the nation. Because as we speak now, many people cannot travel between Abuja to Kaduna. Many people cannot even go to the northeast, to Borno, to Yobe, and some of all this part. A lot of crisis is going on in the southeast. Economic activities have been trampled upon. Every Monday, shops, activities are not opening, banks are not working. If you go to the southwest, agitation is ongoing. In the Niger Delta, you talk about militancy, bombing of pipeline and all the rest. So you will see that there is a lot of crisis everywhere. And there are a lot of issues. The issue of X-Men in the North Central, so many things. So there must be a way by which everybody must be able to also come up to support the nation first, to stabilize the nation, to give peace to the nation, to support the security. There is a time our security formation need the best support in the world, because they are facing a whole lot of deficit of crime and criminality and violence. So in whatever way, and we have individuals, even in a country that loves this kind of an humanitarian gesture, they also want to support, because their businesses cannot even run. Just some few times ago, is it Dangote or Boa donating a substantive amount of money to support the government. So that tells you that if there is no peace, if security threat is everywhere, we can't even have a business running. We can't even do anything. So everybody now, either you come in with your finances, either you come in with your knowledge, either we come in with your intelligence, with your physical agility. You just need to do something so that we can have peace for the nation. So as far as we are concerned, we are purely on this to see how we can be able to have a better nation. And this is the best time we can offer such support.
Very good. Now, do you need? I would love you to talk to government now, to Nigerians. If you have the opportunity to say, okay, Nigerians want to hear you talk about your organization, the support you need from government and people of Nigeria, we want you to please go ahead and talk to Nigerians.
Thank you very much.
As we round up the program.
I think for the Nigerian government, every organization who are willing to complement the effort of the government are supposed to be given enormous support. We understand that the government is already stretched. There are a lot of things that have not been even taken care within the government, but most of the organizations that are on this mission of humanitarian, they should not leave it in the hand of the United Nations and other governments outside the country. The Nigerian government should try as much as possible to support whatever activities that can bring peace to this nation, and also to individuals, private sector, NGOs, foundations who also want to be part of us. This is the best time we can stand in for our nation. There's no any other better time than now, and this is the best time. Whatever support you have, if it is material support, if it is to offer yourself, the both retired officers, we need them more so that they can also come and build our youth, equip them with knowledge. Because most of all this intelligence and knowledge that they have gained in the service, they are not supposed to just go home and retire with it. They should come back into this. This is a voluntary organization that we have set up, that the United Nations have vetted for us to be able to come together and see how we can also impart in the next generation. So whatever support that is needed is very critical this time around.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Blessing, for finding time to come.
Thank you very much, sir.
We hope this kind of media exposure will be regular.
Definitely.
Because we believe the word chaplain